Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Privy Personal Essentials EDC case from 3V Gear. And I was excited when I first saw this as it seemed like a solid alternative to something like a sling bag. As I've mentioned a few times before, I'm not a really big fan of sling bags in general. I just don't really like the way they look, and they also feel a little limiting with what they can hold sometimes. So I thought this would be a great option for somebody who doesn't want to carry a full-fledged day bag but still needs something that's going to be able to hold their essentials for a day at the office or maybe for taking to a coffee shop. And so on the channel, we featured a few different bags from 3V in the past, such as their Velux tactical backpack and their Redline bags. And like those bags, this feels very well built. It has some solid organizational options. I really like it's slightly tactical, but still minimal aesthetic. And it also comes in at a very budget-friendly price. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys. And I want to thank the company for sending the item for me to test out. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the case, I really like the overall aesthetic. On the front, it has a pretty minimal vibe that feels like it's going to blend in well into a more professional environment. This reminded me a little bit of some of similar tech cases that I've seen from companies such as Thule or Incase in the past. The one thing that kind of differentiates it a little bit is this row of Velcro that you have here that you can use to customize with a variety of morale patches. So 3V includes one of their own patches here with their logo, but you can take that off to give the bag a more kind of clean look or customize it with any patches that you normally like to use. And then on the other side of the case, you have a much more tactical vibe. So there's a few rows of MOLLE webbing that are going to allow you to customize the bag with different pouches, or if you want to hang things on with something like a carabiner, it's going to work well for that. And so it's nice to have both kind of that clean look for whenever you're going into more of an office setting, but still have the flexibility that comes with MOLLE webbing. The appearance of this reminded me a little bit of the Green Room 136 Metro Runner that we looked at pretty recently. So just something that I could pretty much take with me anywhere. As far as the materials, it feels pretty ruggedly built, particularly for the price point. On the exterior, you have kind of a polyester or nylon blend. When we looked at 3V's Velux backpack a while back, that had a 600D polyester, I believe, and so this feels similar to that on the company's site. The material isn't actually listed, but it does feel like something that's going to hold up to rougher usage and offer a decent amount of weather resistance. And then you also have a nice beefy zipper that goes all the way around. This has worked very smoothly. I don't believe this is YKK, but so far it's worked very well. I do wish, however, that there was a little bit more covering on the zippers. As you can see here, the teeth are a little bit exposed. These aren't reverse coil or anything like that. So considering that this is meant to be a little bit of a tech case, it would have been nice to have that extra bit of protection. And then continuing along the outside, the bag has some really nice nylon handles at the top that are going to allow you to carry this like a briefcase. These feel well reinforced. And they also have a little bit of thickness here at the top to help provide some extra comfort. And so far, these have felt great. This isn't really a big bag, as I'll talk about in a second, so it's not going to get that heavy. So these work very well, and it's nice that you have two handles so that you can actually open this up easily when you need to, or if you just want to unzip the top to reach down and grab something, this works very well. And then as far as carrying this, you also get a very nice removable shoulder strap. So the shoulder strap has a great length to allow you to use this as a shoulder bag or as a sling bag if you prefer to throw it around your back. And it comes with this little padded section here that feels comfortable. It has this meshy material to help prevent moisture from building up, and it's also pretty thick to offer some extra padding while wearing this. Now, I do wish that this was a little bit longer, as you kind of have to be very precise with how you adjust the strap to make sure that this rests on your shoulder where you want it, but you do have, again, a lot of adjustability with the length of the strap. It's very easy to adjust. And then I really like that you can fully remove the strap. So you have these nice metallic buckles here that feel very durable. And this was something that I've seen in a lot of other slings that was missing, was the fact that you could actually remove the full strap so that you can just use this as a briefcase, or you could even use this as sort of a tech organizer in a larger backpack. Recently, we've taken a look at bags such as the Tom Bin Shadow Guide, which don't have a lot of pockets built in. So this would pair quite nicely with something like that so that you can add some extra organization to the bag, or to even have something that you can remove while you're on a flight or something like that to just house some of your smaller electronics while you're on the go. And then as far as the dimensions, this has a pretty sleek and minimal size. You know, this is just meant to hold some of your tech essentials and really just keep what you carry on your day-to-day very minimal. So the sizing on this is 13.5 inches by 10.5 by 3.5. So, you know, just a very slim and small package. This actually has a smaller silhouette than a lot of the sling bags that I've used. So I really like how kind of closely it hugs my body for everything that I'm carrying with me. And then it's also pretty lightweight, coming in at around 1.6 pounds. And then jumping into the organizational options, even though this is a pretty minimal and slim package, it actually comes with some nice pocketing all throughout. So on the front, you just have a very simple Velcroed slip pocket that is pretty large. It actually goes across pretty much the length of the front. And so this is a little bit flatter, but it's gonna be a great spot for anything that you need to grab a little bit more quickly while you're on the go. So I tossed in my Field Notes notebook here, but this might also be a great spot to hold something like maybe some cash, a boarding pass, or even a transit card. And then on the other side, you have a nice larger zippered compartment. I like that this has a zippered closure to help provide some extra security. Also, since this is the side of the bag that would probably rest against your side, it just offers some extra kind of peace of mind. And so this offers a nice amount of space. Currently what I have in here is just my Kindle e-reader, which fits in there comfortably. Also a great spot to maybe hold a notebook. And then on the inside of this compartment, you also have a small lanyard with a plastic clip that's gonna be a great spot to hold something like your keys or a multi-tool. And then taking a look at the main area, the first thing I want to call out is that you have this nice lockable zipper that keeps the whole bag closed. And it's really nice that you can lock this, as this is meant to hold, you know, some of your sensitive electronics or something like your concealed carry weapon. So this locking mechanism works well here. It works with a lot of different locks. And then one thing that I really like about this zipper is that it has this larger zipper pull here that you can really get your finger around to open the bag very quickly, particularly, you know, if you want to be able to reach in and grab either your concealed carry weapon or other items quickly. You don't have to open the full bag up. You can just reach in and grab it. But, you know, when you want to be able to see everything that's on the inside, this does open up flat so you can get a good view for, you know, anything that you need. I like placing this down next to me while I'm working at home or even at a coffee shop, that I can just reach over and grab any of the accessories that I carry with me, you know, for a day of work. And so on the left, you have a series of slip pockets that are going to be great for holding items that don't work quite as well with some of the elastic bands that we'll take a look at in a second. So you have a few different sizes. All the way here on the right, I just have a USB-C dongle that I like to use with my MacBook Pro, and that fits in there nicely. One thing I'll call out about these pockets here is that they don't have a lot of elasticity, so even though they're fairly tall, they're not going to be great for any bulkier items. And in general, because this case is pretty slim, I tried not to place anything super bulky just to prevent anything from either getting crushed or scratching something. And then next to these two slip pockets here, you have a few small slots that are going to work for something like a pen, which is what I currently have there. I also have a little flashlight. And then all the way on the left, there's one additional slip pocket. This one comes up a little bit more, so you have some extra volume. Currently what I have here is just my Apple Magic Mouse, but that might also be a great spot for maybe a portable hard drive or a portable battery. And then on the back of this compartment, you have a slightly padded sleeve. That's where you're actually going to be able to place your device. So currently what I have in here is the 11-inch iPad Pro, and that fits in there really comfortably. As you can see, it has the smart case that allows me to actually stand it up, and it has the keyboard, so that fits in there easily. And according to the company's site, this sleeve should be able to hold a 13-inch smaller laptop. Now, for a 13-inch MacBook Air, one of the newer ones, it might work out pretty comfortably. My wife's Dell XPS 13 was also able to fit in here nicely, so it really just depends on the device that you have. Again, this isn't meant to hold a huge laptop, but for a smaller laptop or pretty much any iPad or similarly sized tablet, it should work out really nicely. As far as the sleeve itself, again, it's a little bit thicker than some of the other slip pockets on the bag. There's no sort of fleece lining on the inside or anything like that, but it does a good job of making me feel like my device is going to be well protected while I'm on the move. And then in the middle of the bag, you have an elastic band that's going to be a great spot to hold something like a stylus, which is what I currently have here. This is also meant to hold the Apple Pencil if that's the tablet that you like to use. And then on the other side, you have some more organizational options. These are more based around these elastic bands, which work very nicely for a variety of items of different sizes. You can see here that I didn't really use all of the bands, and that's because I found that it was very tricky to use both of the pockets on this side and the bands together. Typically, if you placed items in each, it would be very kind of a tight fit to close the case, and I don't like any pressure on the device that I had here, so I just chose to kind of spread them out and leave some gaps to allow everything to fit a little bit more easily. But you know, you can just kind of organize that to meet your needs depending on what you're carrying. And so you have a variety of different sizes on the bands. You have these larger ones in the back that are going to be great for maybe some power breaks, anything a little bit bulkier. And then you have some smaller bands along the front of those. So just starting here on the right, I tossed in a little stand that I like to use to hold up my tablet or my phone, particularly when I'm on a flight. And then I have a lightning cable with a power brick to charge my tablet and my phone. And then down at the bottom, you have some more slip pockets. I didn't really use this one here for anything, just because they're a little bit flatter. As you can see in the one in the middle, I tossed in my Apple AirPods, but they kind of slide up a little bit just because, you know, they're bulkier, and so the elasticity of the compartment actually kind of pushes it up a little bit, but still nice to have an extra spot so they're not floating around the compartment. And then I also just tossed in a little USB cable that has a bunch of connectors on it, which I like to have with me. So, you know, if you've used a Grit-It in the past, this is a very similar system to that. You have a lot of great elastic bands. You can choose not to use any of them if you just prefer to use the pockets on the left. And then a really nice thing about this panel is that you can actually remove it. It's attached to the back of this compartment by some Velcro, which holds very tightly. You know, it makes a little bit of noise when you take it off. That's why I already had it separated. And so I really like that you can, you know, choose to just use this if you want to toss this into another bag, or if you have another backpack that has some Velcro where you can actually place this, you can take this and just leave the larger case at home, or you can leave this at home if you want to use this as more of a range bag. This actually works quite nicely with a lot of the concealed carry holsters and accessories that both 3V and other companies have. You can configure this to kind of meet your needs depending on if you're righty or lefty, or, you know, how many magazines or something you want to carry. I don't actually have a concealed carry weapon at this time, but it's still nice that you have the flexibility to use kind of a small pouch like this to hold some of that gear. So just really love the flexibility offered all throughout the case. Even for something so small, it can really hold and organize a lot of stuff. And if you're looking for a versatile, simple, and budget-friendly kind of tech organizer case that's going to be able to hold your daily essentials, and this is going to be a really good option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Privy case over the past month. It feels very solidly built. It has some awesome organizational options. I really like its overall aesthetic, and it also comes in at a very reasonable price. And so you can currently purchase this on 3V's site for about $30 to $35, which, considering the features and build quality that it has to offer, feels like a great price in my opinion, and it also compares well to other similar items in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of was the Metro Runner from Green Room 136, which was a really nice, tactically styled sling bag that was very comfortable to wear. It has a great build quality, some nice organizational options. That one's not going to be able to hold as large of a device as this one here. So if you have a larger tablet or a small laptop, you know, that's not going to be a great option. But if you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit more minimal, and you actually prefer a sling bag style of carry, that's going to come in at under $100, and that's going to be a fantastic option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Modern Dayfarer Sling, which is another really well-built sling bag that has plenty of space, a really nice organizational layout. That one can also hold a tablet similar to this one, and that bag has a more kind of fashionable aesthetic. It looks very modern, like it's gonna look good with the suit. So if that's a little bit more your style, and again, if you prefer more of a sling bag style of carry, and you have a little bit of a higher budget, then that's gonna be a great option to take a look at as well. And then the last option that I'll mention here, if you like the aesthetic of this, but you're looking for something that's a more full-fledged everyday bag, is the Mystery Ranch 3-Way Expandable Briefcase, which is a very versatile option. It has some great organizational pockets, a solid build quality. It offers a little bit more space than this. It also has the ability to expand out if you're looking for something that you can use maybe for a short trip. And you can use that not only as a shoulder bag, but also as a backpack, as it has some hideaway straps. So just a very solid option, a really great kind of work and everyday bag. And if you're looking for something with a little bit more space, that's going to be one of the best options to take a look at. With that being said, the Privy Personal Essentials EDC case holds up pretty well against all those bags. And if you're looking for something slim that's going to be able to hold all the items that you need to carry with you, and that's also going to come in at a very budget-friendly price, this is going to be a great option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the Privy case and how it compares to some of the other sling bags that we've featured on the channel. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the items for me to test out. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.